Good evening, it's 6:30 and it's time for chapter 29 of The Outlaw, Varjak Paw by SF Said, illustrated by Dave McKeen. Boy, have I got a chapter for you tonight. Now, I kind of know what's coming, so I'm a little bit emotional already, but here we go. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Okay. Settle down, get comfy, get ready. Here we go. Chapter 29. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, so the end of chapter 28. So, said a familiar voice, we meet again, Varjak Paw. Chapter 29. It was Sally Bones. She was standing in a dark doorway at the foot of the tower. Her gang ranged out before her. She was watching Varjak with her ice blue eye. Her bony body gleamed white against the doorway. We captured Varjak Paw, boss, said Luger. Indeed, said Sally Bones. And you captured all his gang too? No, boss. They were guarding him. Razor put together a posse. Luger tailed off as Sally Bones stalked towards him. You fool, she said. You fell right into their trap. The air seemed to shimmer for a moment, and then Luger howled. There was a livid red slash on his face, and Sally Bones was flicking blood from her claws. Varjak felt Razor and the twins flinch, but he didn't flinch himself. He was thinking hard, because his life depended on it. What did I do to her last time? What is her weakness? I can't see any weakness now. I have to get closer, that's the only way. He took a step forwards. No further! Snapped Sally Bones, showing her teeth that tapered down to deadly points. You have done well to get this far, Varjak Paw, she said. You have outfought and outthought some of my best cats. She smiled, though her ice-blue eyes stayed cold and hard. So I am making you an offer. Come join my gang. Be my captain. I will give you everything you want and more. She turned and nodded behind her. Some more of her gang came out of a doorway. They had a prisoner with them. A cat with spiky, black and white fur. This cat was limping, clearly hurt, but alive. Varjak could see one of her eyes, and it was the colour of mustard. And his heart was fluttering in his chest now, like the wings of a trapped bird, because he didn't dare believe it was true. Holly? He whispered. Yes, said Sally Bones. She fell with one of my cats. He did not survive, but his body broke her full. She was half-conscious, calling your name when I found her. So I brought her here to my place. We have been waiting for you to come. Holly, is it really you? The cat by the tower looked up. Lightning flashed above. Varjak, came her voice. The gravelly voice that he loved so much, sounding as if it was coming from a huge distance, from the very bottom of the sea, but Holly's voice unmistakably. Varjak, did you get away on the rooftop? Did I do enough? Holly! He yelled, and his heart surged in his chest as he moved forward towards her. Up above, thunder cracked the sky. Yes, we made it, Holly, and it was all thanks to you. She smiled, spiky and beautiful as ever, but something about her was changed. He could see both her eyes now. One of them was mustard-coloured, but the other, it looked blue, ice blue. Holly, what's happened to your eyes? I don't know, she whispered. I've been having dreams, Varjak, such strange dreams, and now everything looks different. But you're alive. That's all that matters. Oh, I missed you. You don't know how much I missed you. Come on, we're getting out of here. No, snapped Sally Bones, and before Varjak could speak, half her gang stood between them again, and he couldn't even see Holly anymore. Now make your choice, Varjak Paw, said the thin white cat. You join my gang and do as I say, and you can have your friend back. Defy me, and you and every one of your friends will die." Her tail whipped behind her. "Choose wisely," she said, as she turned and went back into the tower, taking Holly with her. It was like a slash in the face. "How dare she do that to Ollie?" growled Razor. "I say we fight." "He's right," said Omar. "It's the only way." But Varjak still couldn't see any weaknesses in Sally Bones. How could he beat her? He had to admit the truth. "Everyone," he said, "there's something I've got to tell you. What I told Luga about losing the power is true. I've lost it." "Shh," said Jess. "We know." "I've lost it, and..." "You what?" "We've known for ages," said Jess. "It don't matter. We followed you anyway." But why?" "You made us do things we never thought we'd do," said Omar. "Even without your power, you kept us together. You always find a way to keep going." "And now," said Ozzy, limbering his massive frame up for combat, "we're gonna do what we came here for." Thunder exploded above. The twins moved to Varjak's left and the Scratch Sisters to his right, Jess by his side and Razor behind him. "Varjak Paw," said Eliza Scratch, unsheathing her claws. "The way Razor fooled Luger was genius, and I take everything back that I said. You were the one who knew. You were the one who took the kicking to make it work. You led us here with wisdom and courage, and you have earned the respect of the Scratch Sisters." "And Pernicia would say so too," said Militia, giving her claws one final shine. Varjak could hardly believe it. He felt lifted by his friends, by their faith. He felt lifted. And as he breathed in, something started to happen inside. Deep inside him, a flame leapt to life. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. The world shimmered and slowed down around him. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And he felt the power rising in his heart again, filling his lungs, crackling from his whiskers to his tail, a hot rush that was almost more than he could control. It was so good, this feeling. He'd missed it so much. "Varjak!" cried Jess. "You've got it back!" "Yes, I have," he said. "Thanks to you. Thanks to all of you." He was one of a pack, and his pack was all around him. And Holly was alive. She was in the tower. He was going to get her back, and this time nothing was going to stop him. He took a step forwards, shimmering in slow time. His pack moved with him. A snowstorm was howling down from the sky, blowing straight in their faces. Varjak didn't even notice. This was it. This was the moment. He looked out over the graveyard, the tombstones in their crooked rows. Sally Bones' gang ranged in their ranks, and Luga stared at him, eyes full of hate. The Bones cats unsheathed their claws, bared their teeth, and here they came. "Go!" yelled Varjak. His pack ran at the Bones cats, and as thunder shook the earth beneath their paws, they came together with a juddering crunch. Flanked by his friends, by a solid shield of muscle, Varjak breathed in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, and came face to face with the enemy. Omar and Ozzy took the first hits on his left. They soaked them up without even flinching, and struck back mightily, an explosion of pure strength and power. The Scratch Sisters fought just as fiercely on Varjak's right, the fastest claws in town, avenging their sister, making a way through for him. His pack drove forwards through the snowstorm, splintering the Bones cats before them. Some tried to circle around the rear, but Razor held them off with a terrifying roar. "Don't try it!" he yelled. "I've got nothing left to lose." Varjak was fighting the fight of his life. In the middle of the battle, he led the line. He guided them to the heart of the enemy, through the graveyard, towards the tower. All around him, his friends fought tooth and claw every inch of the way, and inch by inch they forced their way forwards. Varjak, shouted Omar up ahead. There's a gap! Go! Varjak looked up and saw it. Ozzy and Omar had smashed open a breach in the ranks of the Bones Cats. Through that gap he could see the dark door at the foot of the tower. This was his chance. This was it. He surged forwards through the gap as Omar, Ozzy, Eliza and Militia held off the waves of Bones Cats that were closing in all around them. Only Razor and Jess made it through with him. They drove on through the middle, through the churning mud and snow, and now another wave of Bones Cats came. They were waiting, and now they came, flying through the air at him. They were led by Luga, his face a mask of blood and hate. Razor sprang in front of Varjak. He met them head on. The tiger-striped tomcat had no ears or tail, but he would not be moved. He blocked them. He stopped them dead in their tracks. With a thunderous tackle, he smashed into Luga and dragged him to the ground. "Keep going, boss!" yelled Razor. "Keep going!" Varjak kept going. He was clear through now, thanks to his friends, but only Jess was left beside him, and there was still another wave of Bones Cats coming. He breathed deep, widened his moving circle out to meet them, and here they came. One cat, Varjak took it down. Two cats, down. Three came, 3, 4, 5. They kept coming at him. Sally Bones' gang. Varjak got the first, got the second, spun around, and the third broke through his circle. Claws raked his back, but he kept going. So close to the doorway now, so close. But more claws were coming, ripping at his side. They just kept climbing. And they were wearing him down. Varjak was going down to the ground. But little Jess, the last and smallest and the weakest of his friends, tore into the Bones Cats with a fury he'd never seen before. She startled them. For just a moment, it was enough. Varjak could move again. He scrambled up, made another run forwards. But now there were teeth in his tail, claws in his ribs, paws in his face. He couldn't fight them all. His circle broke. They just kept coming. He couldn't fight at all. Varjak could see his friends cut off from each other, battling for survival, not pressing forwards anymore, just staying alive. He fought on, but his heart was sinking. It wasn't enough. They'd given it everything they had. They'd been magnificent, but it wasn't enough. There were just too many Bones Cats. It was over. So near the end. So close. He wasn't going to make it. Varjak Paw! A great roar ripped the earth. A shadow soared through the snow. "Clutch," said Varjak. "Clutch, is it you?" "Clutch, come back," barked the huge dog. "Clutch, come back." And behind Clutch came another huge shadow, and another. Clutch's brothers, Buster and Bombalulu. The three of them came roaring into the graveyard together, and ahead of them, with the biggest of grins, it was Tam. Tam was back. She hadn't run away at all. "Glad to see us," she yelled. "Thought you might need help, so I went and got some." The Bones Cats around Varjak scattered, and now at last the way to the tower was clear. He dragged himself up to his paws and made the last few steps to the doorway. It was pitch dark in the tower. He could see to the bottom of some old wooden stairs spiralling up inside. They were very narrow, too narrow for the dogs. Somewhere up those stairs, Sally Bones was waiting for him, and that was where Varjak had to go, alone. Wow! Oh, man! Oh, so, Holly's back! Come on! Holly is back. Tam didn't run away, and the dogs saved the day. I'm exhausted. Oh, I really hope you are too. Were you cheering throughout that? Were you like, "Come on, yes"? Okay, well, we've got chapter 30, the penultimate chapter, because the book only goes up to 31 chapters. So we've got chapter 30 tomorrow, and then you'll have to wait the whole weekend for chapter 31. Oh, man. So chapter 30, I wonder what's going to happen. But stay tuned. Oh, I'm out of breath. I'm all exhausted. I've got tears in my eyes, and my heart is beating fast. I hope you guys are okay. Tweet, tell me what you thought. Tell me, was it good? Were you up out of your seats? Were you cheering? Did I distort the microphone by shouting too much? I'm sorry if I did. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you tomorrow night, 6:30 for chapter 30. Excellent. Bye-bye.